Hey, everybody. Let me catch up with you. I'll make sure I got audio. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Hello? No audio? No audio. You can hear me, Joe? I can't hear on my end. Why? Hi, Joe. Can you hear me? Let's shut it down and start over. Joe says he can hear me. All right. All right, now I got it. All right. Excellent. Okay. My. Oh, Lordy. Hey, Joe, how you doing? Feel like I feel like I'm hearing Jimi Hendrix playing in my head every time I say, "Hey, Joe." Well, I've been a little bit busy, just working on a whole bunch of different things, and here we are. It's already 7 o'clock Eastern time. Earlier today, this was just a paintbrush with no paint on it at the hardware store. This was just a little blue can of paint sitting at the hardware store. This was just a piece of coil stock that roofers would use, or aluminum siders, put it in a metal brake and make flashing. That's all this was. This packing tape was just over there in the roll. That $1 stamp was just over there with the rest of them, and the ink from a thumbprint here was just sitting in that ink pad. But now, woo-hoo-hoo, look what we got. And since I took the picture for the thumbnail for this video, I went and drilled the holes. And now I took this one off quite a while ago, and I was traveling without. And oh, Lord have mercy. The life of Ethan. So I was into corrupt Kalkaska without my plate, and I had my paperwork. I was feeling pretty good. Now, I didn't have my postal jurisdiction paperwork. I had the Americans Notice of Liability. I had, let's see, I had a Article 3 court document, another one, and another one. So I'll talk about these. That's all I had at the time. That and the Americans Notice of Liability. I did not have any of this. So I was feeling pretty good, and it was very liberating to be traveling. Oh, that probably made some noise because I put that over the mic. I apologize for that. My bad. I have since brought these into the quantum. Okay, so you probably noticed that, and but at the time they weren't. Now this language, you can take it right out of the Americans Notice of Liability, and that is modified for all Americans, and the constitutional provision that I dropped in there is one of the most powerful I could find. And don't worry about, well, it's been a corporation. The borders weren't maintained. Title of custody, all this crap people are going to tell you. Forget about it. It don't matter. All right. It's moot, moot, moot. Nothing there. Because your rights don't come from the constitutions. Your rights are unalienable and unalienable. They were once constitutionally protected. And everybody's going around, Constitution, Constitution, Sheriff Mack, constitutional sheriffs and his posse in the news, Constitution, Constitution. Everybody, Constitution, Constitution, but they don't know nothing about their damn flag or their blessed flag. Both. They don't know jack shit about their constitutions, that federal constitution that Dershowitz and Levin scratching their chin, pondering the Constitution. They don't tell you there's a bunch of crap fiction has no jurisdiction over you. So your rights are unalienable, unalienable. If you want to understand the power, read the state constitutions. All of them. Why all of them? Well, I find in 3 of the state's constitutions, the forefathers had the forethought to spell out that you have the right to the courts, any court, to prosecute your own cause. You wouldn't know that if you didn't read the Constitution. And if they told you, just read your state's constitution, well, 3 states people might find out they could prosecute their own. But can you have a right can I have a right here in Michigan that you don't have in your state? No, because it's common law across the common land. So don't worry about any of that bullshit, all right? Just create your open up court. If you can figure out a better way, figure out a better way, all right? I'm explaining to you what I've done. I'm explaining to you the power in it. And I'm letting you know some of the things some people might tell you to throw you off track. Tell them to fuck off. You're the federal. You're the high authority. You open up a federal court, an Article 3 court, a court of law, a court of record, an open public court, court of law, high court. All right. So, the language I got here, this was my original. This is what I did for me. Then I created the Americans Notice of Liability, where I after doing several independent states, I said, I got to wordsmith something that's going to be good for all Americans. And then I was able to use that Indiana Constitution article section, which says all power is inherent in the people. Most of the states say all political power is inherent in the people. That's pretty powerful if you would just own your authority. But Indiana says all power is inherent in the people. Can you have a right in Indiana that we don't have anywhere else? No. Why? Because it's common law across the common land. Is that a constitutional right? No. It's an unalienable, unalienable right. It can never be abridged. It can be trespassed. You got to own your authority. And you got to own your authority. But if you don't even know what your power is, what your responsibility is, and what your authority is, then how are you ever going to own it? All right, so this language for me coming into court. Comes now afferent. Now in the quantum, afferent is nofent. So maybe you might change that to claimant. That might, I mean, hey, look, this is my old work. We refine stuff as we go, right? So anybody wants to jump on in, but hey, look, what I've done, it's worked for me um, very well. And it's not perfect that works. It's what's right that works. It's truth and law that works. There's more than one way to get from here over to there. You can roller skate, you can skateboard, you can skip, you can sprint, you can run, you can crawl, you can walk. You can walk sideways, you can walk backwards, you get on a bicycle. There's all kinds of ways to get from here to there. And just because you choose a different one doesn't mean mine was wrong or yours is wrong. But which one's more powerful? Well, let's just keep making everything stronger as we go, all right? But as a completely dumbed down, completely toxified, completely enslaved, completely indoctrinated for my entire life, I think I did pretty good. I think I did better than just about any other sumbitch out there trying to wake you up. Oh, the other thing that gave me confidence about this is this paperwork originally came from Dave Jose and Matt DePerno, who is an attorney here in Michigan, was an attorney here in Michigan, maybe still is an attorney here in Michigan. I don't know. He was running for attorney general, and he was heavily involved with We the People and a situation up here just north of Kalkaska where they uncovered a lot of corruption with regards to that selection stuff. And I'm not sure what latitude I have here on YouTube, but I think you folks are with me. So anyways, was some great video. I mean, it was some great stuff. And it was like, yeah, you know, and then Matt adopted the paperwork, and it's much more than the Americans Notice of Liability, but coming into court and the paperwork that I used for my cases. Once I saw Matt DePerno facilitate 40,000 of them, and he only made one little change. And it was with regards to it was with regards to arbitration, and he added I think 3 words, maybe 4, and be bound thereby. Well, arbitration is binding. At first, I thought, hey, cool, Matt, but no, I mean, really, I mean, so anyways, it gave me a lot of confidence to move forward with the paperwork with my cases. And then I come to find out just how damn powerful it is. And so at any rate, for something simple to create an important document like this, you just go into court. So comes now afferent, one of the people, as seen in the Michigan Bill of Rights, Article 1, Section 1, Constitution, G juris, in this court of record, do make the following claims. You're there to make claims. Why? Because you're a man. A man makes claims. You're not there to complain. All right? And then I dropped in political power. All political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their equal benefit, security, protection. And then the other language that's required is down at the bottom, and that's the verification and the public notary as a notary as jurat certificate. So That leaves a big blank space here. Now, it's not enough space for me to put a copy of my certificate of live birth. So I reduced it in size in a copy machine so that it would fit in this blank space on my paper. And I put it there because all the names are as proper as they can be at the time, where first letter's capitalized, everything else is lowercase. It says mother, it says father. It's good, right? So it's not the all caps name. So I opened up court. I created this. I think document means noment. I created this case. Anybody wants to say this isn't me has to do it in a court of law, not in a fake court of assumptions and presumptions. And then I quantumized it. All right. I quantumized it. This probably would have been better off to go up here. But I don't have room for it. And without, if I would have facilitated, if I'd have known this when I was facilitating, I would have, I would have taken care of that. So now you can notarize your own paperwork. You can own your authority. You can notarize your own paperwork. Now, but a public notary is recognized in a de facto system, and you're going to be serving this paperwork on those that live by that de facto system. And they don't know nothing else. So anyways, we cover it 6 ways from Sunday. Because in the end, I own it. And on the back side is my quantum autograph and my thumbprint. They can't turn it over and say there's nothing there. So I was fortunate to have a certificate of live birth that has everybody's name in upper and lowercase. It says mother, father. It doesn't say parent. All right, so what else do I have here? Most of you won't have this, but it's the same thing. And what's in the middle here is a copy from probate court back in 87, where I did a name change. And everything is proper with capital first letter, lowercase the rest. Of course, there's no quantum there. Nobody was talking about quantum back then. That was a long time ago. However, I upgraded it into the quantum. Anybody wants to bring a claim against me that this isn't me, that I'm that all caps name, do it. They're going to have to do it in an open court of record, a federal court, a high court. They're going to have to bring a claim and a remedy. All right. The last thing I got is the same damn thing, except here is the title. Reduced down in size. And I talked about this before, but I'll go over it again. Purchaser's name, printed. So, all lowercase, proper. If I would have done it now, I'd do it quantum. With the full colon, Ethan hyphen D, full colon, Dean, right? I would do it that way. Signature of seller. Who's the seller? Well, the seller is the straw man. Well, all right. I'll stand for that fiction they forced on me, for this document they forced on me, and I'll do that. I put a signature. because it asked for a signature from the straw man. Straw man can't give an autograph, Kenny. No, straw man cannot give an autograph. A man gives an autograph. So I did that. I took care of business. The seller's name, that's all caps, just the way it appears on this fraudulent document. And then where it says signature of purchaser, I used my authority. I scratched out signature. I wrote autograph, and then I put autograph. All right, and then I facilitated it with the notary church. So that's what I was driving with. And again, since then, I have quantumized this. I did not have my contract with the Global Postal Union and multiple post offices and distribution centers between here and Kingsland, Texas. I did not have this. I did not have this to show that I can contract and that I'm sovereign, that I'm postmaster, that I'm federal. And I'm driving. I'm coming back from corrupt Kalkaska, and I made it there. I took care of business, and I'm on my way back. I only got about, I don't know, 7 miles to go, 8 miles to go, something like that. And looking in my mirror, what do I got? I got Barney Fife tailgating me. I'm like, oh, motherfucker. All right, so look for the phone, get ready to start recording. And I'm getting ready for these sons of bitches, right? And they're following. I'm just paying attention, waiting for them to create that fake emergency. Well, they surprised me. They decided to exit stage right, took a right-hand turn, went down another road. And then it was shortly after that I got involved with the Environmental Court and the People's Bureau of Investigation. And of course, as you know, I rebranded this P. So now this isn't the People's Bureau of Investigation branding. This is rebranded. P is fuck, P-H-U-C-K or P-H-U-K. B is British. I is invaders. That should be your objective, Americans. Fuck these British invaders. Straight to hell where they belong for everything they've done and continue to do to us. So the next thing I know, holy shit, writs of execution are getting served on all kind of high profile people. And I've dealt with so much of this damn gang stalking and all this crap. I was feeling lucky to still be breathing. And, when you're out there on the road, anything can happen. Anything. They got control of your vehicle one way or another. They cut something, they manipulated something, they push a button, something happens, or you get T-boned, or you get trespassed and torture cuffed and kidnapped and imprisoned. The safest place for me is right here, and I know it. So as I tell you folks, don't fall on the sword. Pay attention to your surroundings, know what you're up against, be smart, and know when to shoot a cop. And if you don't know when to shoot a cop, the YouTube video, When to Shoot a Cop, put out by Cop Block, is in the description of this video, or it should be, and will continue to be in every video going forward. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you watch it. It's an extremely well done video. It's been standing for 10 years on YouTube. And if you haven't watched it in a while, I would say watch it again and share it with friends and family. I made a conscious decision at that point that I would look for a ride when I wanted to get out and run errands. And so that's what I did. So when I tell you don't fall on the sword, I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from wisdom. You got to know what you're up against, and you got to be better than what you're up against. And the beautiful thing is, these parasites are so fucking stupid. It's easy. I'm gonna open the door here. And hopefully we won't have too much smoke. So, where do I want to go from here? So, this will be, I used packaging tape here. You can probably see the glossy. Let's see what I got. This right here, clear packaging tape. And I wrapped it clean around the back side. That should hold pretty good. And then I'll get some, like I said, could use caulking or something pliable. It's going to stay pliable but sticky, and that'll just keep this from vibrating and cracking here. So, and then when this is all said and done, I got me a trophy, don't I? Because I retired this son of a bitch. That thing expired, I think, in 21. Yeah, that expired July of 21. So I've been without a plate on the vehicle for near 2 years. But now we're going to go quantum. Now, another interesting thing is this has rounded edges, and I just scored with a razor knife and then bent and cracked this. So I have square edges, which is beautiful, because once I get that schmutzing in there, that's going to, stick these two together and keep them from vibrating, I'm just going to bend these over. I have a bend over on each corner. That'll lock it in. That'll lock it in nice. And then I got my contract number with the Global Post as a sovereign man. Without the United States, no jurisdiction. I have the right to travel. No insurance, no forced insurance, no forced registration, no forced license plate, no forced driver's license. So, as I showed you, I captured my driver's license. The Michigan driver's license has this coding thing here. I made sure not to cover it. And on the other side, it's got some numbers here. I sized it all up, and the stamp was able to fold over and not cover any of that information on there. And then I took that packaging tape, and you can see the glossy, and I taped over it because I didn't have a um, permanent ink marker to capture this. So, but we start out with the full colon and the first letter on this fraudulent document, and across the stamp. It captures both. The thumbprint captures this fraudulent document, touches the edge of the stamp to seal it, cancel it, as well as touches the family name or last name, however you want to do it. All right. So I've done that, and then we talked about the passport on the last page of your. If you're a slave with privileges, if you've done the copper kettle moonshine, you may only have one page. If you've got a true slave port, like I do, there's 3 pages. That on the side, up and down the side here, it says endorsements / mentions special endorsements / mentions specialties / annotations. I captured that. And I got my RF number on there if you look close, right across here. And then, of course, I got my documentation in here. And this is set up like a map to just unfold nice and neatly, and it's all bonded. Oh yeah, this one's just 2 papers. This isn't for the court. So that's the Americans Notice of Liability, my postal contract, and then I was carrying around this proof of fraud, but we're much deeper into the proof of fraud in Kalkaska, and I've created more paperwork, which is several pages that I've got bonded, that I got a little bit more upgrading to do. But I carry this in the passport. And then again, you should pay attention to the very first page that says the Secretary of State of the United States of America. The United States of America, not the United States. The United States of America. Hereby request all whom it may concern to permit the citizen / national of the United States. Who is that? That's that all caps fiction fucker. That fraud, that constructive fraud, that mail fraud, that human trafficking fraud, and a whole host of other things we could call it. All right, back here. I'll start over. The Secretary of State of the United States of America hereby request all who it may concern to permit the slave, that's me, that's not written in here, but that's what this means, citizen / national of the United States, not the United States of America, just as the United States, named herein to pass without delay or hindrance, and in case of need to give all lawful aid and protection. Well, now, look, they write the tickets to the all caps name. Those courts do everything with the all caps name. If you just knew how to stand on this, they gotta let the all caps go. Who are they gonna write the ticket to? The all caps name. And then they're gonna give it to you. Give it to the all caps. Who's supposed to have free pass? So on that, what I did was underneath the signature, I also put all rights reserved, UCC 1-308. So I have captured my passport, captured my driver's license, I've opened up federal court multiple times, created multiple documents that prove I am a man, not a fiction. And I show my ability to contract. So I'm owning my authority. And who's teaching you how to do this? So I've been thinking. I've been thinking about the work that Keith did. YouTube channel El Piro. I think I understand it. I think I comprehend it enough. Right? We don't understand because we don't stand under. And when you say I overstand, you sound like a kid. You sound like an idiot. So think about your words. Comprehend is a much better word to use. I think that's what I've gravitated to. I think I lost my train of thought for a minute. Probably because I've been such a bad smoker. And I'm probably jonesing for toxic water. So, oh, yeah, I'm right back where I wanted to be. The work that Keith did, creating that Franken. And I believe that Franken gets registered with the Post. If that's the case, then maybe you don't have to worry about facilitating registered mail in order to. But see, Keith says that's passing through the Post. It's not deposited in the Post. Is that a contract or not? The Franken that he creates, I believe, gets registered with the Post. The acceptance of that Franken and allowing it or pushing it through the Post could be a contract. So I've been thinking about that. And you should too, until we get it ironed out. Or we get on the other side and none of this shit matters anymore because we're not fucking with these fucking idiots. But in the meantime, we are. And they are serious oppressors. And they don't give a shit. They sleep fine at night knowing that they drew blood on you, that they imprisoned you, that they fucked you, fucked your family, fucked your kids. They don't give a shit. So this is serious. It's very, very serious. I'm purposely not looking at the live chat. I see it coming in, but I don't want to get sidetracked. I'll address them here in a minute. So I'm thinking that Franken gets registered with the Post, and that may be contract in itself. The postage paid mail passing through the Post and reaching destination, that could be contract. I'm not sure. However, I am quite positive that this right here, that's contract. Now I got to believe that the register receipt, the 3806 is contract. But I was still stupid. Stupider than I am right now. Ignoranter than I am right now. And I didn't know to command that postal employee to cancel that 3806. Well, it don't matter. Don't matter because the job's done. I have evidence of the contract. In addition to all the receipts, in addition to a picture of the mailer, in addition to the green card making a damn round trip. I did that with registered mail with a label 200. Label 200 has tracking numbers on it. Don't let them parasites try and trick you with a Pitney Bowes metered mail thing and, tell you things have changed. No, you're labeled 200. And interestingly, these were available to be ordered online and have shipped to you from the post until I came out with videos for the postage paid with the success that I had and the realization that I had gotten recognized. Not only did I prove the postage paid registered mail, 3 days later, I realized, holy shit, boy, you just got recognized as foreign national to the United States. And you've got all the documentation to prove it, all the mentation to prove it. All right, so I'm going to come back. We're going to talk more about mailing. I'll take a look at the live chat here. Joe says only a man can perfect a claim. An unrebutable affidavit stands as truth. Prior to quantum, affidavit would be one of the best forms of identification. But affidavit means no David in the quantum. So I'm not sure if we would bracket the AFF or the AFFI. Bracket it, hyphen, or maybe we just say David in the quantum. But in Babel, an unrebutable affidavit stands as truth and law. Charlie Harrington says right on, throws a flame in there and says agreed, comprehend sounds better. Casual mining, KA postmaster is difficult to work with. Oh, a lot of these postmasters are a real son of a bitch. So can you have a right in your state with your post that I have? Can I have one that you can't have? All right. If you got the cojones to go in there, here's the number. RF 302-709-250 US. That's in the system. That's registered. That's my case. Now, I went back to the post office shortly after facilitating that prepaid first class registered mail successfully. And it's only weeks later, and I'm in there to get supplies, and I am questioned. And then I am lectured, scolded, threatened, and told that they have been told not to facilitate the prepaid post, that they stopped doing it in the 70s. Well, I wasn't recording. I was in no mood for discussion. I was just there to get what I wanted. I already had proven what I wanted to prove. I know how to own my authority. And so on the drive back, on the travel back, I said, well, if they stopped doing it in the 70s, how come in the latest, greatest software in the stinking little village of Kalkaska, it prints off a sticker, $0, 0 cents, that goes right on the mailer? That 3806 goes into a machine and comes out of a machine with a bunch of postal print on it. And then the top copy comes to me and they keep the carbon copy. And then a register receipt comes out of the register with a charge and a credit and a balance of $0 and 0 cents. If they stopped doing it in the 70s, if you had a computer in the 70s, it was a floppy disk and a black screen. And if you couldn't type code, you couldn't do jack shit. There was no icons to click on, no Word documents to open. You had to type code for every damn thing. If they stopped doing it in the 70s, why is that shit in there? All right? You can show them my videos where I show the receipts. I show the 3806. I show the register receipt. I show the mailer. I show the green card there and back. Contract. If they stop doing it in the 70s, why is it in the computer? If they do it for me, why won't they do it for you? And then what happens? What pile of paperwork. I don't want to find it. I get that mailing from Joe. Here, I don't even need the copy. I get the mailing from. They put it right in my mailbox. After they tell me we're not going to do it anymore, right in my mailbox. And then we learned something else. We learned this Metroplex and more, and had discussion on it, and made a video on it, and so everything's getting better, right? But I'm not sure I think this is really powerful, but I think there's more powerful and more powerful. The most powerful, in my opinion, and I can be wrong, the most powerful, in my opinion, is registered mail. Registered case. Now, a return card, in my opinion, is not necessary. I know it's not necessary to facilitate the post. Point A to point B. I know that's not, it is not required to use a return card, either domestic or international. And you get into this, we start getting into some complications that I've done a lot of ciphering on, and I got thoughts and ideas. And you see, for me, I don't have to do this because I already did it. I don't have to do it better. I don't have to do it perfect. I did it. It worked for me. What I did worked. It worked for me. It should work for you. Complication, if you do what I did, could be these, because this is domestic, this is international. Now, interestingly, because of the brainwashing, and because I was still more ignorant then than I am now, on the return side with the address, I put the all caps name, which in retrospect, I think is perfect for the time and space that I was existing in, that I was living in at that moment in time. I think it was perfect because I'm still capturing my straw man. I'm capturing that straw man. I'm taking responsibility to not let all those fucking straw men that these parasites create, and they're all over the place. They got a social security account. They got QVC account. They got a rubber hose up your ass account. Who knows how many damn accounts they have? And then they got all the damn, they got the birth certificate, the passport, the driver's license, your cards from the bank with the all caps. They got these fucking straw men everywhere. And I'm capturing them. I'm taking control of them. So what I did, and again, it worked for me, I used the green card and it had the all caps name. Now, the green card isn't getting mailed to a destination that the package is going to, is it? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I mean, it's attached to the package. You could send that package without this. You can send a package without it, and you can still get the tracking because it's all online. And then you can screenshot it, and then you can have an electronic copy, and then print off a paper copy, and then back it up, right? You don't need to create a paper copy using this shit. And this is domestic. Your sovereign mail is international. You're foreign national. You're without the United States. You're federal. You're postmaster. This domestic use only. This international. So I'm still thinking about it, but I don't have to dwell on it and figure out what am I going to do, because what I need to do I already did and it worked for me. And I'm putting all this out there to help you. So that's some stuff to chew on. That's some stuff to think about there, right? All right. Take a look at the live chat. Casual mind. Are you just trying to get free mail? No. Casual mining. Originally, when it was brought to my attention, it happened in a Telegram chat group of the People's Bureau of Investigation, and then I started researching it, and all I could find was talks that said, I do it this way, and most of the time it works. Sometimes it doesn't, and I just mail it again, or I use a different post office, or, things like this. Well, the environmental court was having the process server serving writs of execution. And this is going to sheriffs, judges, governors, congressmen, senators, right? And we can't, that in that situation, you can't just be willy-nilly about is it going to go or not going to go. And depending on the post office you're in, that registered mail can be, mine was 1876 before they put it down to zero. That was the charge, and then there's equal amount credit to get to a zero balance due. Some post offices are charging well into the 20s, 23, 24, 25, 26 dollars for one registered mail. And some of these process servers were sending out maybe 10 a day, 10 a week. So that really adds up. And then you've got the, there was a lot of printing and color ink, and that's expensive. So I thought, well, if postage paid is available and it's just another one of these things they've been hiding from us, cool. Well, so that was the first thing that happened. It worked. And I got all the documentation as I was explaining. However, we're all trying to be free from this enslavement, this corporate government, this brainwashing, this MK Ultra, the indoctrination, the fear base, and the dumb down. And again, it's 3 days and I'm celebrating. Prepaid, postage paid, it works. And all of a sudden, boom, I realized I got recognized as foreign national to the United States, because the very top line in the return address portion, and I want to stop saying address, because that I believe is military, and it's another trap. It's another spell in spelling to fuck you. So in the return location section, very top line on my mailer says Foreign Office of Origin. And if I was to do that again, and I would, the only letter I would capitalize would be the F. And stay away from that corporatized bastardization shit. So I had specific statements and labeling, and then other people were having success and other people were getting rejected. There was a mess. The hornet's nest that stirred up is ugly, and it's still going on. It's still going on. So gotta get back on track. So originally it was to save money, but ultimately I realized this is how you get recognized as sovereign. In what jurisdiction? The Global Post. The Global Post, baby. The defunct, bankrupt Universal Postal Union. And for me, in the jurisdiction of the state of Michigan, no. Well, yeah. In the jurisdiction of the state of Michigan, that corporate identity, in Michigan State, in Kalkaska County, in the village of Kalkaska, in the federal corporate jurisdiction of the United States Postal Service, and in the corporate federal jurisdiction of the United States Post Office. And where's the military? Oh, subservient? Oh, so it has to be recognized in the military jurisdiction too, right? Is there any jurisdiction I missed that I don't have a claim and verifiable documentation registered in the Global Post? That's why I say the registered number is, in my opinion, the best. The Franken, well, that information is about a month old for me. I I processed some thoughts on it, and I'm still processing thoughts on it. The Metroplex, again, that's interesting, and that could be contract. That could be contract. That Metroplex. And so you get contract with the Post as foreign national. You have the evidence that you are sovereign. Never got return receipts for certified mail after that. Didn't do registered. They actively tried to discourage registered. Oh yeah, they do that. We got a lot of that. Yeah. You got the postal service in there. Now, pay attention to your buildings. On the outside of the building, some buildings are going to say United States Postal Service. I think the majority of the buildings are going to say United States Post Office. And if you get to your county seat, that's where you should be able to find a post office. But inside the post office, you've got postal service employees. Oh, they redacted one of your messages, Casual Mining. A postmaster would said, "Are you just trying to get free mail?" First of all, it's none of their damn business what your private business is. Casual Mining says, I was trying to reclaim my mailbox. Frank Form 4232. That is, there is a process. So, and I don't know what it is. So, some things I know to think about while we're all going in this direction is let's stay away from the word, the term, the babble, address, and talk about location. Used to be rural route and postal roads. Then they militarized this shit with the zip code and the address and the doorbell and the door knocker. Now, I don't know if this is fact positive, fact fiction, or just bullshit. But apparently, if you got a door knocker, a military mind of authority sees that door knocker, knock, knock, enter, not waiting. Same thing with the doorbell. And they've bastardized everything on us. Of course, in the private, in the free world, with your liberty, know that you wouldn't have that evil, demonic, fucked up fuckery. However, in the minds of these evil parasites, that's how that could very well be how they look at it. Joe says no zip code. Yeah, so the zip, when you put brackets, then it's not on the page. If it's italic, it's not on the page. If it's in a box, it's not on the page, according to the styles manuals. You can put the zip code in brackets. You could put all zeros. You could put all zeros in brackets. You own your authority. So Joe says mail is a military term. So interesting. What were our Pony Express? Pony Express. Those were the days, right? All right. I want to talk a little bit more about registered mail. One of the supplies that could be difficult to get from the post office is this security tape. This has a glue on it. You have to wet it. Like you use they would use a sponge and wet it, and then that's going to go on every seam. So this mailer has a seam here. There's a flap. I mean, this folds over and it's glued. This mailer, because it's a big one, has a seam down here. And of course, there's going to be a seam here when this goes over. So this tape got to go across the middle, got to go up and down each side. And then they're going to take their, I can't remember what they call it, that plunker thing that stamps, that you contracted, right? They go, if you've never seen it done, they go down, plunk, 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 partially on the tape, partially on your mailer, and basically touching all the way. And this is to show if your mailer was tampered with. Now, when I went in to pick up supplies, I specifically asked for this. I asked, do they sell it? No. I said, well, I'm going to be preparing a mailer, and I'd like to go ahead and take care of sealing it up prior to bringing it in. Is it possible you could let me have a little bit to go? So I got enough to facilitate this mailer. And I had full intention of going back and testing the system again. And I was going to use my thumbprint in place of their stamp. It's the same thing. And I would just go all the way up and down that tape across and prepare everything. So the only thing that they need to do is print off that sticker, $0.00. Put the 3806 in the machine and let it spit it back out with their print on it. Pop out that register receipt and boom, done. So that's the best I can tell you right now, folks. Now, to me, this is more powerful than the claim of the life that gets facilitated through Chief Russell J Gould. To me, this is more powerful, and he says there's more than one way to do it, and apparently two postmasters can facilitate the claim of the life where there's no fee. They don't charge, then there's no fee. There's no exchange of money. So it can be done cost effective. And there have been those that are claiming that Russell's paperwork is actually taking control of your birth certificate and making you his slave, and that's all. Whoever is on that track and pushing it, look, he ended the birth certificate. He ended it. We ain't going to be taking control of yours. All right. Take back a look at the comments. Um, Casual mind never got return receipt for affidavit to DC. Put it in brackets. Did all zeros, all that. Just never got anything back. I think they're wise now, and they aren't helpful anymore locally. Well, we got to put the fear of God into these parasites, and it's easy to put together documentation of mail fraud. And anything with that all caps name that's being pushed through the post makes the post, the postal employee, postal employees all culpable in human trafficking. And they should be made aware of executive order. I should know this. I know it, but I don't want to say it and say it wrong. I want to say one. I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's right. Yeah, here we go. Executive Order 13818. 13818. Anybody with a clown costume, anybody working in a private prison, anybody with a bar card, anybody with a black robe, anybody in that hospital that has anything to do with that birth certificate, if they're still processing them in the hospital. The bankers got your all caps name on your debit cards, and it's all human trafficking. They're given a death penalty for drug trafficking in the tribunals. Executive order calls for the death penalty for drug trafficking. What do you think happens to pedophiles and human traffickers? Whew, man. Oh, old Chief Poopy Pants Pope Paw probably has to get a new set of Depends. And Fat Fuckford's probably passing out about now. Notice and demand, opportunity to cure. Well, in the quantum, notice is notice, and demand, you want to command, not demand. In my opinion, you're the highest authority. These are your servants. They're doing wrong. Don't demand, command. That's the way. Notice, okay, that's your First Amendment. That's your First Amendment. They don't want to respond verbally. Drag them into your court. Open up Article 3 court. Make claims. Give testimony. Go through discovery. And they plead guilty to treason every time because they are. Or they'll plead guilty to human trafficking if they are and you charge them for it. I'm sorry. Not charge them for it. Try them for it. put them on trial for it. Guilty is guilty, and proof is proof. Stop going into their system. Stop it. Drag them into your system. You open up that Article 3 court and you serve them using your postal mechanisms. We've seen a lot of things happen, and these parasites are real happy when you just sit back and stay quiet and don't, just go along, get along, and keep taking it up the ass and keep dishing it out, letting them take all your valuables and all your energy and all your time. I'm feeling pretty damn good, at least for myself, that when I took this off and I was just driving with just a big old blank bumper out there, and I had the paperwork that I would talked about in the video, well, I felt pretty good. I did. And then when Barney Fife decided to stop tailgating me and turn another direction, that made me feel pretty good too. And but then I started stepping into some real hostile waters, and I said I need better protection than I'm affording for myself. So I afforded myself better protection, and that's why I'm here now. So when I say don't fall on the sword, people, I mean it. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to run. You certainly need to know when to stand and when to strike. But do not fall on the sword. Pick your battles. Oh, geez, there's so many damn battles. And take them on to win. Don't take it on to go part way. But you cannot win in their system. You can't. It happens. And that's a trap. Because monkey see, monkey do. Oh, did you want to see what happened? Charlie? Oh, he crushed them in there. He crushed them in their fake parasite cart, man. No, Charlie didn't. Charlie just walked out a winner. They just set the stage for everybody else to go do what Charlie did and then get fucked like you can't believe. Because that's how they operate, assumptions and presumptions. You cannot try truth and fact in those fake fiction non-courts. Get that through your head, people. Stop filing anything in there. Find a veteran. Help him get the gun out of his mouth if he's got a gun in his mouth. Help him get up off his knees if he's on his knees. And see if you can't find 40 well-organized, well-trained assassins to join me here in Kalkaska to conduct a mission. We'll surround this corrupt Kalkaska County Sheriff's Department and the courthouse. And at the end of the day, all employees can leave. It'll all be very peaceful. And they will be noticed. They'll be given information. They'll get educated as to the crimes that they are culpable in. And if they demand to come back to work and get paid by the people to continue committing crimes against and upon the people, well, there's going to be 40 men there that got a different fucking opinion. It's that simple. We got the United States of America, the land of the slaves and the home of the fearful. I just don't know what to do. I feel very alone. I feel very alone in what I do. I feel very alone in the battles that I fight. And I feel very fucking alone as a truther in the truther community, as an influencer in the influencer community. But that's all right. It's all right. But it ain't right. It's all right. I'm okay. But it ain't right. Soy boy, skinny jean, fucking faggot, pussy motherfuckers. Get up off your goddamn ass. Own your fucking authority. They're killing your wives, your daughters, your mothers, your grandmothers, your sisters, your brothers, your friends. They're killing you. Own your fucking authority, people. I was going to close off there, but I got to read the voice messages here and see. Lacking a wedding signature because somehow it's not getting back here. Joe Moore, how can there be a meeting of the minds when one party is in corporal? And yeah, Ethan, but you got your first documents through, so you can stand on that. It isn't working anymore that way. It is. It is, and it can. We just got not the registered mail, but we got the education on the Franken, and Keith brought the receipt, and the video is in the description of this video. That's for all you've done, casual mining. If you haven't watched that video from the YouTube channel El Piro, I suggest that you watch it and learn about the Franken. And then I believe Joe is going to be upgrading his work with what he's doing with the Metroplex. And this is awesome that we're having talk on this and engagement on this, and that it's spreading. And so we just got to keep pushing and pushing. Again, I cannot have a right here that you don't have there. It's common law across the common land. And just because they want to be the soup Nazi doesn't mean it's right. And they're only going to get away with it if you let them get away with it. And maybe you need to try another post. Now, if you're doing it the way that was put together for the environmental court to be anonymous, that's different than what I did. I went right up to the counter. The strategy behind setting up serving those rich registered mail for the environmental court, that was all done to be anonymous. And so the 3806 that I got at the counter didn't get to cancel. But if I knew what I know now, I would have made that employee cancel it. And if that employee was knowledgeable of that employee's job, the employee would have just done it. But these people are so stupid, they don't know their job. And there's all kind of federal penalties in their corporate corrupt system for interfering with the mail, fucking with the mail, delaying the mail, interfering with the postal delivery. And so if I could just get 40 men here to Kalkaska, real men that can organize a mission, conduct a mission, and complete a mission, we will capture the sheriff's department, the corrupt sheriff's department, and the corrupt courts, and we will figure out what we're going to do with the guilty party. I would imagine it would be turn them over to the military for tribunals, and then we assemble, put a sheriff in place, and reestablish law and order in the village of Kalkaska, and have all kind of cameras rolling and show the American people how you do it. Again, fuck British agents. Fuck them high, fuck them low, fuck them from the back, fuck them from the front, fuck them from the top, fuck them up. Destroy them. British agents have no place in a free republic operating a judicial system that's all designed for enslavement and has nothing to do with truth or law or honor. And they got your flag captured, Americans, veterans. You got the bastardized flag. It's a sin to disgrace the flag. They put a fringe border on it and decorated it with a British agent tassel. Absolutely desecration of the American flag. And what do you veterans do? Oh, you keep renewing your driver's license. You keep paying your traffic tickets. You just go along to get along. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't. Oh, God. See if I got a question here. Casual Mag says, I'll check it. Joe says, 18 USC 2071. What is that, Joe? We know that's just corporate bullshit that should have no standing or jurisdiction. You only want to use their stuff against them. You don't want to go into their system for nothing. Because again, it's assumptions and presumptions and all of that. Just like this US 18 1341 / 1342 mail fraud, fictitious name and address. So we got to get off the address thing. We got to think about location, GPS coordinates, and or rural route. Postal roads, location, not address. Stay away from that military stuff. So, all right, people. Well, hopefully there's some good information for you here. I have new information to bring forward on non-euphoric cannabis formulations and the efficacy. And so I'll be setting that one up shortly. Joe says withholding of contract. So within their own system. So again, like, There I go with this Columbo shit again, right? So I know I started to talk about this and I let myself get sidetracked. The example of the mailer that is available at the website in the document section on the services page is not the identical layout that I used when I had my success. Because so many problems developed where it's not working here and it's not working there. Over the course of time, months, other information would come from other people and they said, I do it this way and it's working. And so what I did was I compiled the best of everything, the best that I could at that time. I haven't looked at that document since I put it there. And it's something that I probably should do. However, nobody's opened it up and said blah, 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 and brought it to my attention to have discussion on it. The time I put it there, that was the best that I could do. And over on the left-hand side, below the return address, is a bunch of that statute stuff. All right. And I don't know if each line or each phrase is bracketed. So, Joe, your statement that the multiplex hit, for bracketing, you're not going to want a big bracket that captures a series of sentences. You'll put a bracket before the first letter of the first word, and you'll put a bracket at the end of whatever the end is, if it's a period or it just ends in a letter or whatever. Okay. So if you got it bracketed, it's not on the page. So it's there. They can read it. It educates them. But because it's in brackets, it's not there by the Styles Manual. Or I'm wrong. But I don't think so. I do get things wrong from time to time. And then we figure it out. So learning by mistakes is learning. With the least amount of mistakes is the least painful. And so that's about all I got for everybody right now. Joe says Article 1, Section 10, ability to contract. And is that in the federal corporate constitution? I'm assuming that it is. So I don't even want to look at that because it has no standing, no jurisdiction. I mean, of course, you can give up your rights and you can be a slave, and it has all kinds of standing and jurisdiction, and you're just fucked. So nobody wants to go down that rabbit hole. Casual Mining, thank you very much. Casual Mining says good talk. Okay, thank you. I'm glad. I hope it was beneficial. And so I'm gonna wrap it up. Joe says I put zip X empty. Joe, I just wouldn't do that. I would say, because you're in the word spelling, and Keith can probably give. I know. I believe from our communication that Keith has issue with this, and I think I know why, but I can't explain it. And you simply avoid it. But well, if it's all in brackets, it's not on the page. All right, I'll go along with. But see, I put zip X. You got X in the bracket. See that if you're trying to quantize exempt, or you're trying to, you still got zip. It doesn't say zip code. That's a partial. I, I, I don't know. I say all zeros, or put the zip code there and put it in brackets. But definitely that statement without the United States. Well, I'm trying. I'm sorry if it's confusing. I work very hard to make this stuff stupidly simple, and I'm going to keep working at it to make it stupidly simple. So there's three processes that we're looking at here. Casual mining. One is with the Franken, which Keith does an excellent job, and it probably requires re-listening to a couple of parts time and time again. What Joe's doing with the 2-cent stamp and the statement that gets canceled with the multiplex, that was new to me. I just here for days, and then of course what I did, and so there's actually three avenues, three venues to pursue to own your authority. So, all right then. I love you, everybody. I'll be back soon. Don't fall on the sword, but wield that shield and wield that sword and take these parasites out. Remember, fuck British invaders. That's your job. That's your duty. That's your responsibility. Own your authority. Set yourself free. I love you. I love you. I love you.